Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today it's kind of gloomy. It's kind of bright but kind of gloomy. But today we're back on the convertible. So let's see what's going on. So this is my 92 convertible 240SX. Has a K-AT in it that I've been building. So here's my weird setup. My eBay manifold, my RB turbo, my makeshift piping from 2 to 2.5 with my intercooler down there, 378cc injectors, Megan Racing fuel pressure regulator, and then a SAFC to control the computer and the mass airflow sensor. So the other day I took it out for its first drive, the last video, and drove to the gas station, had some boost, it was nice. Turned around after I filled up and started driving back, no boost, no turbo sound. Pull the intake off. Compressor wheel's still there. It spins quite nicely, but as I rev it, it has no boost whatsoever. And like I said, no turbo sound. So I don't know. I need to diagnose it. I'm going to look at the wastegate, see if it's stuck open, and I hope it's not. But if it is, oh well. And then if I have an issue out of anything. Since that was a free RB turbo, and RB turbos have a ceramic exhaust wheel, well, if I have issues, I decided to buy another turbo, an eBay turbo. An eBay turbo that's for an RB, so it has a 6-bolt flange on the back. So my setup is not completely demolished, and I can retain what I've got down there. The only other thing I've got to do is the exhaust. I need to cut it and rotate it because it's hanging way too low. Let's see if I can show you all the exhaust. Alright, I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but the exhaust is about 2 to 3 inches off the ground, which is not good. So, and that's just because it's a ISR, cheap made, dual tip, kind of like a Apexi N1, but it just doesn't fit right. The subframe and where the diff is and all that, it just doesn't fit 100% like it should. It doesn't hold it tight to the chassis at all. I've had it cut and rotated once, and that kind of helps, but I've got to do it again since I put this turbo on, because I had to lengthen it because it got too short after I got the downpipe and the turbo elbow in. So I haven't modified the turbo downpipe, but I did lengthen the test pipe, and that's what I'm going to have to take back off. And when I take it back off, I'll cut the test pipe as straight as I can, and then just rotate the whole assembly in the rear, the cat back, as much as I can, tag it back in, pull it back out, weld it, and then put everything back in. But my main concern right now is the turbo. So my air fuel as it sits in idles is at 12, and that's not good. So it needs to be up closer to 14. So I'm getting too much fuel down low, and I need to figure that part out. And I think most of that part is the fact of the turbo's not really doing anything anyway. So I'm going to dive in here and take a look. Well, after further investigation, it's not really blowing any boost. It blows some, but not a lot. And I think it's just because the compressor or the exhaust wheel, I think, is destroyed. But we're only going to find that out when I rip everything out. So I've already started disassembling everything. The downpipe is undone. I'm undoing the turbo elbow right now, and then I've got to get the lines off, and I'm going to take this off just to take a look at it, because I did have an exhaust leak on it. So take it off, look at it, and make sure I don't have an exhaust leak on it anymore. Yeah, so that's what we're going to get to right now. All right, well, as you see, that's all out. Found the culprit of why I'm not getting boost. This is this doesn't look like this. They look like I'm missing a little bit here. I mean, I probably could just order a exhaust wheel and have it rebalanced and have another turbo, but yeah, good thing I ordered another turbo because I wasn't sure if this was the issue or not, but now that we see, it is. Go figure. And my booger welds on here globbed all up. It's not leaking though. Nope, not leaking. Got a lot of fuel in it, so I need to clean it up and yeah, and put it back together with this new turbo. So I'll start moving parts. All right, well, I might have a crappy looking engine bay with multicolor rust, other things, some shiny bits, but I have a 5-tone manifold. Yeah, pimpin'. Bling bling. Okay, looking at the orientation of this turbo, I'm going to have to clock it because I don't like how the water lines are going side to side. It needs to be, the water lines need to be up and down like that. So I've got to clock the whole entire center section, which shouldn't be too bad. Just loosen these bolts all the way around and then just turn the center section and it should turn and be good to go. So put this in the vise and I'm just going to loosen those up, turn it, and should be done. Alright, we've swapped over everything. Now it's time to put another little bit of copper sealant around the edge here and the edge here, and then put these on. So that's what I'm going to do now, and we're going to seal this all up and then start getting this thing back together. Done on there. Now I'm going to slap this turbo in so I can make this easy on myself, and then we'll put in the manifold, and I got to put some more copper gasket in there. I don't like this stuff leaking, so copper gasket everything. The world. So let's get on back to this and finish it up. Yeah. Make turbo noises tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Oh man, that was a struggle. Let me fix y'all. Alright, so I got it. I was just looking at the intake tube. The hot pipe, everything else is on, the exhaust is not on. So when I was wrapping the exhaust manifold. I didn't want to go too far because I didn't want to get close to the nuts. That's why I left that little gap there. Otherwise, I would have went a little bit better with it. But it's my two-tone color, and yeah. So before the night's over, I'm going to get up under here and just bolt the downpipe to the turbo elbow. And once I do that, I should be able to do the exhaust tomorrow. Because once I put the turbo or the downpipe on, I don't have to mess with that again. The one I have to mess with is a test pipe, so I have to pull it off. And when I pull it off, I'll have to cut it and reorientate the exhaust. The other thing I'm looking at is the intake. With this turbo, it's tucked a little bit further back over towards the engine. So, and it's got a 3-inch rather than a 2 or 2 1/4. So it's a lot bigger. So I ordered a 90. So I'm hoping it's a short 90 so I can get it over here and have the intake come right back where it was, because I made this little awesome crappy bracket that I need to clean up for the mass airflow sensor. So we're getting there. Yeah. Turbo and exhaust. That's what I need to handle. So I'm going to do that, and then I will see y'all tomorrow. That's what's going to happen. So see you in a minute. Well, today's a new day. I've already started. Exhaust off and test pipe removed and cut. So now I'm going to just put it back in, rotate it how I want and to the level I want, and then I'm just going to start tacking it in and then take it out and go all the way around and then put it back in and hopefully be done with the exhaust. And then while I'm under there, I got to pull the drive shaft off again and pull the transmission out so I can get this clutch in. Well, after looking at my exhaust, I need to pie cut this and cut this hanger off, because I don't even use this hanger. But I need to pie cut this a little bit to angle the exhaust up, because this is pointing down more for how the elbow, turbo elbow is. It needs to be pushed up more. But the good thing is it clears the body, has a couple millimeters between the flex joint and the body. So right here, it's just going to angle it up just a few degrees and I should be good to go. Well, yeah. If you haven't noticed, the lens is a little bit different because I swapped out the lens because I cracked it. So I bought one on eBay and put it in here, hoping it's in focus. But got my intake back on, 3-inch to 2 1/2, and so on and so forth. All my pipes are redone or done again. And then when we look up under there, my exhaust is not hanging down. So since it's not hanging down now, I'm not going to be running stuff over and dragging it down the street with me or trying to rip my muffler off. So now, which is not now, it's in a couple days, because the exhaust took me a couple hours. Now I didn't film it because I didn't figure I wanted to watch some more welding. If you want to watch more welding, go back to the last video where I welded and watch more videos. There's going to be more welding later in all my series. But my little welder decided to clog up inside the sheath for the wire, and so that was a pain in my butt. I had to drill it out and then fish it through and everything else. But yeah, so in a few seconds we're going to take this thing for a drive, which is a few days for me, a few seconds for you, and test this whole thing out. So I guess we can crank it. Let's do that. Let's see how this turbo sounds. Let's see, everything on, primed. Air fuel sitting good. Belts. Got some back. 12. sounds good. Alright, now I've looked at pipe up yet. Nope. Boost pipe's not hooked up. No wonder it's reading bad. But there it is. So I got one more clamp to put on, and this is all going to burn off. Yeah, this one clamp I have right here is not on, and that thing is hot. Hot, hot, hot. So let me get this joker on here and cinch her down. Well, we should make some boost, and that'll be in the next part, like I said. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to call it a night because it's dark and it's late and I need a shower and other things. So, thanks for joining in to today. Wait 2 seconds. It'll be tomorrow. Alright guys, well, back for another day. We're checking over everything, making sure all the clamps, all the hoses, all the stuff is bolted down now. So, after we do this, we are going to take it for a rip. So it feels mostly like everything is pretty much, just making sure that everything is pretty much tight. Making sure all these bolts are tight over here, all these bolts are tight over here. Everything looks good. So all I gotta do now, you got something on you. All I got to do now is take this off the jack stands down there and put it on the ground. I know some of this looks cheesy because it's just what I had, and I like it because that protects everything right there. And this thing gets hot, and this thing is just going to have to deal with life. So I eventually need a new air filter because that one's quite a few years old and I've been using it forever. But we gotta get this thing down and get it out of here because I've got something else waiting to come in that I need to get done, and you'll see that in the next video. This never ends. This stuff just never ends. And then, yeah, in the future, I don't know what I want or need to do because my tires back here getting a little bit close whenever it's sitting all the way down, and up front it gets kind of close, and these eBay shocks need to be dealt with somehow, some way, because they're blown. That's it. They're just blown. Then we gotta start looking at body work here, paint up here, body work up here. That's all dying. And then I need a new rear window for this. I should get on top because of this. Got two big old holes, which I've thought about putting fabric on the back side of it and gluing it to it and calling it a day, which I might do because I normally don't have the top up unless it's sitting parked somewhere. But my issue is it still leaks. So let's plop this thing down, crank it up, see what happens, and go from there. Alright, here we go. Starting the journey. See if everything works out. I haven't replaced the clutch yet. Still got it. I don't know what I'm on. Must fell off. Excuse me. Alright, we're back. Backing up. I think I gotta work on my clutch line a little bit. Feel it's not the best. But hey, the exhaust is raised up, so that's a positive. Tires are getting shot. Alright, drive time. Let's watch some stuff. traction is very rich. But I can feel a little bit of boost. That's good. I like boost. Like I said, my clutch is still iffy. I need to tighten it up. A lot of things this thing needs. Feel some boost. Very rich. Should have brought a fire extinguisher. I didn't. Hopefully we're not on fire. We're getting hot. We're up in the 230 range. That is not good. I'm not paying attention. Hopefully we're not on fire. It is hot. Hold on, back up. Let me look at something. All right, well, it's super warm. We're still super warm. We're at, look at that, 220, 225. Oops. Having too much fun playing. Not on fire or anything, so that's good. I might have an air bubble because or a small leak somewhere, but I looked up underneath and I don't see any leaks. But I got some water boiling, so hopefully it didn't hurt the engine. Hopefully not. But we'll refill it in just a minute once it cools down. So we're gonna let it cool down. Alright guys, well, that's a win on one side of my book. The other side, so we're going to keep working on this stuff because of the fact of I'm overheating and I got to figure out why, and I'm not sure if it's the radiator getting less air because the intercooler is so big, or if there's an air bubble, and I think there's an air bubble. So if there's an air bubble, it's okay. I'll put more water in it and some more cool down, and we'll work on that. But as of the run, it did pretty good. So I want to say thank you for joining in to another episode of the shop. Stay tuned for more S13 content because it's coming. I'm going to cruise around a little bit more and fix this thing to where we can go blast it in some places. But yeah, check out some merch at Teespring. Check out Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you know. So check it all out. Until next time.